Hi, everyone. I am curator Lisa D'Amico, and I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking today with Susan Hirsch about her beautiful painting, Under the Sun's Golden Fan. Susan, it's really nice to talk to you. I,
Lovely to talk to you as well.
that your piece in the show, it's beautiful and it's bold and it's simple. Like it brings in all the elements that I feel represent nature.
Right.
So tell me, let's start with your inspiration. I'm very curious if there's a specific location or if this is something that you created out of your imagination from your experiences.
Well, I feel really blessed to live in the Hudson Valley because there are so many panoramas, so many beautiful places that I hike. It's really a Zen thing for me to be out in nature, as for many people. That particular vista or panorama was it at Storm King. And that, well, I should say the inspiration for that. So, I love going up there in all different seasons and have done some other paintings as well. So for me, I wanted to try to create something tranquil because that's how I feel when I'm out there, amidst nature. But at the same time, I wanted to play around with gouache as opposed to watercolor because gouache is so vibrant. So I wanted to try to balance out the tranquility, but also, express the vibrance of what was in front of me, if that makes any sense.
It really makes perfect sense. And I think you have achieved that and beyond.
Thank you.
Tell everyone how you work with gouache, how you came to use gouache.
Yes.
Because generally people don't start off with gouache as their material. They kind of like, I'm an artist as well. I love gouache like you,
Right.
and for all the reasons that you said. So go ahead.
Well, you're absolutely right. I painted with watercolor for many, many years, and enjoyed watercolor, enjoyed the unpredictability, if you will, of the watercolor. But I did take a class with a Spanish artist, Maru Godas, who works in gouache. I came across her artwork and I was like, I have to explore this. And I think partly just because I really felt like the colors, the vibrancy, the ability to layer colors and really to explore contrasting colors and, all of that. It was just a little bit, it was much more powerful, in a way. And I felt like I could express what I wanted to in the paintings. And it was also very playful to me. There was a whimsy about it a little bit. So I started her class. I started painting with gouache and that, over the last few years, gouache, I wouldn't say is my only medium because I do go back to my watercolor, but I'm always drawn back to the gouache. I think going forward, I'm gonna start working with exploring acrylics and oils as well. So, but I've really only been exploring gouache and watercolor up till now. So I'm finding my way through all the mediums, I guess.
Your use, I mean, the color, the depiction of nature, the more I looked at your piece, the more I came to really enjoy your composition. The way you've laid everything out is really unusual to me and interesting. I love the perspective. Is this an aesthetic you've always had?
I do try to find I do try to think about perspective and create a perspective that's, a little bit different. I think I started out in a much more realistic and, trying to make everything look exactly as it is. And over time, I just want to, have a more abstract, version and think about a different perspective for the work. I think the thing with gouache is, you can create depth and you can create layers so that, that was really interesting to me too. It's harder for me to really get that same depth with watercolor. I know many artists can, but for where I am at the moment as an artist, I feel like I could create that more easily with the gouache. And I think, you know, for a little painting, I think what happened was I felt like it was very expansive, even though it was a small painting. So, you know, that's kind of what I tried to set out to do, because that's certainly the feeling I have when I'm in that setting. But yeah, so that's, you know, that's how it came to be, I guess.
It's great. Thank you so much, Susan, for talking to me today. I hope everyone visits InsideSmall.com and sees your wonderful painting, Under the Sun's Golden Fan. And I will also post your information, because I recommend that everyone follows you and goes on this beautiful journey with you through
Thank
art.
you so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Susan.
Take care. Be well.